Hello everybody, this is Monster Sanctuary. It's a game that I've been checking out on the Switch, and I actually really like it. It is kind of like a Metroidvania mixed with Pokemon. So it's a side scroller, and you collect these monsters, and each monster has like special abilities that allow you to progress further through the sanctuary, which is the map. And as you progress, you also get items that give you like double jump and warm clothing, so you can go in frozen water. Objects like that also help you. But yes, it is pretty good so far, so I wanted to go ahead and do it on stream. Start a new game. And I'm actually not sure which starter I want to use. So I figured I would look at all of them, because I've only seen the one that I played with. Monster Sanctuary is a land far away from any other human civilization. While wild monsters are dangerous to humans, monsters raised by them grow loyal to their owners. Most of the people in Monster Sanctuary reside in the Keeper's stronghold. Many of them learn to raise and train monsters. They call themselves Monster Keepers. Choose the familiar of your bloodline. So the Spectral Wolf is the one that I started with. It's kind of got like a middling stats for everything. Where the Spectral Eagle has, better attack and magic but less defense, and better health and mana. And the Spectral Toad has less attack and magic but more health and mana and defense. And the Spectral Lion is probably the most neutral of all of them. Now, when I've been playing on my normal playthrough, I've been using the Spectral Wolf, but I feel like maybe the buffs of some of these other ones would be better. Like maybe the Spectral Lion probably would be best because of burn. Its ability to burn, which I would imagine it has, as it has fire attacks. And the Spectral Toad, my rival, uses that. And it has the ability to poison. And poison and burn are probably the strongest abilities. My other guess would be to try the Spectral Eagle, because it also has burn, probably. And its attack and magic are better than the Spectral Lion. And I wonder, it would also have maybe shock. The Spectral Wolf has chill with water. So, and I also think that the Spectral Eagle might be really good because there are some spots where flying, where you have like a flying monster will help. But I'm just gonna go ahead and check all three of the others and see which ones I like. Among the most prestigious monster keepers, there are 4 prominent old bloodlines tied to the Monster Sanctuary's history. Each of those bloodlines is aided by a spectral familiar. Those familiars are ageless protectors of their family, passed on from one keeper to the next. Artexian is just starting out to become a monster keeper like his ancestors before him. As with all starting monster keepers, his journey begins on the Keeper's Trail. His bloodline's familiar bears the form of the Spectral Eagle. Name your familiar. Eagle. Monsters are wild things. The only reason I'm helping you is the bond I share with your family. Most monsters are less inclined than me to help you. That is why you must always raise your own monsters. They will grow alongside you, just as I will, and they will fight for you. The best way to gain a monster's loyalty is to hatch it from its egg. Of course, you will have to fight to get those monsters' eggs. Look at that blob over there. Initiate a fight by contact. We shall see if you will live up to your ancestors. So, yeah, you can like grab on. Unfortunately, you don't have double jump yet. So once you have double jump and the flying monster, you can get up there. But let's check out his skills. So you can attack a single target with 220% physical damage for fire. He gets crit chances, which are good. Crit chance plus. Fire attacks dealing 10% more damage. He gets an auto revive, which is huge. Precision hit, first hit has of an ability has 20% crit chance. Berserk, if a single hit deals more than 25% of the enemy's max HP, 10% against champions, you gain 8 charge stacks. I haven't hit any abilities yet that have charge, so I'm not really sure what that does. It's got some crit damage plus there. First strike of an enemy has a 10% increased crit chance it cannot be dodged. So basically, if you max out this, you start out with 10% native crit chance. That boosts it to 15, 35, 45 crit chance just by level 30. So then he gets lightning, apply shock debuff on a random enemy at the start of combat, which is pretty okay. 50% chance to apply shock to all. Monsters in the party recover 7.5 of max health when they trigger shock damage. I mean, that's okay. So basically it's just self-heal. Unless you have a party built around shock. Shock hits have 40% increased crit chance and do 10% increased base damage. Magic proc, every attack triggers an additional hit to 35% of the magic value. And you can stack shock up to 2 additional times, so 3 total. And you get shocked and blind if you do a huge hit. Hybrid shield at the start of combat, apply shield to 100% of attack and magic value. That's really strong. Monster starts combat with 7 charge stacks. I'll have to see what that is. Crit edge. Each crit hit grants this monster a charge stack. Solar burst is really good. I have a monster that does that. Crit chance focus. So this is heavily reliant on critting, which is awesome. And then it's got a buff. Physical attacks and deal 20% more damage. You get a revive and heal, which is huge. Mana regen. When this monster is revived or revives another monster, it additionally heals 30% of its max HP and gains 7 stacks of charge. It's got a great evasion. Crit chance also increases the crit chance to dodge enemy attacks by 20% of the value. So you'd be looking at, probably around 20% evasion. And aging. Every time you end a turn, you gain an age stack. On the Spectral Wolf, there was a nice age buff. So every time you finished a turn, you gain shield and attack damage. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to have any skills that rely on age, so it's going to require like another monster that has an age buff. So actually the Spirit Eagle is really, really strong. Let's go ahead and save and quit here. Do a new game. Let's check out the Spectral Toad. So the Toad does earth damage. He has a kind of like a reflect attack. When he gets hit, 40% chance to apply poison on the attacker. You heal 5% of your health at the start of every turn for each poisoned enemy. It has a healing AoE. It can apply a weakness for every hit at 10% chance. When applying a debuff, trigger an additional 30% hit, which is good. For every heal applied, there's a 10% chance to apply a poison, weakness, or armor break on a random enemy, which is awesome. When applying a debuff, 50% chance to gain a random buff, which is really good as well. Mana proc, every attack deals an additional hit, 50% mana. So right now it would be like you do an extra 48 damage. For every consecutive hit during an ability is increased by 5%, so a 4 hit attack would gain 15% damage on the last attack. It's got water damage here. Some overcast, which increases the healing, shielding, and attack by 10% cost, but 15% more power. And the aging buff. So it can tank a little bit when an ally's attack, 25% chance to redirect the attack to the monster. Every hit has a chance to apply poison. So you can do a full offense buff for yourself, which gets more damage, increased crit. Healing skills trigger an additional heal equal to 50% of attack value. Whenever a monster in the party gains a non-channel buff, 15% chance they also gain channel. Heal by 50% of the damage dealt. Deals an additional 30% hit for every poison on the target. Buff healing when applying a buff, also heal the target by 50%. Okay, so what this is for is basically when you gain this full offense level 3 and you can gain channel, then it'll apply channel at a 15% rate on everybody else. Stacking poison buff, which is good. And then you have single target heals. Whole party will receive less damage. You get shielding based on heals. Healing actions apply 2 random buffs to the target. That's huge. Multi-channel, so you could reduce your mana cost by, I would assume, 60%. Every buff action applies an additional random buff. Channel also improves all healing and shielding skills by 15%. So Toad's a debuffer and a buffer, with poison damage as like the main source of your damage. You want to poison as much as possible to get all of these like additional attacks, but then it also gives you some water damage in case you run into, you know, somewhat strong against earth attacks. But I mean, I would probably focus like down to this tier, get Cascade. That way, when you're doing like 5 hits here, you're gaining 20% damage on that additional last hit. So Toad's actually really good. And I feel like this is going to be a running theme with every monster. And so far, I kind of feel like the Spectral Wolf is the worst. Spectral Wolf is built around crit damage. So he has an attack that when it crits, you gain 50% more damage. So if he's, I think right now on mine I have like 50% crit. But even then it feels like you don't crit 50% of the time, you know what I mean? So as we said, burn damage is huge. Got crit chance there. AoE, chance to burn. Mana regen on burn. You can apply a shield to the whole party, and it applies glory, which increases everybody's crit by 10% and 20% crit damage. Another crit buff there. Multi-burn, you can stack it up to 2 times additional, so 3 burn stacks. It's got some earth damage here. When you exploit a weakness, you get 50% attack. Every monster in the party deals 1% increased damage for each buff. It's alright. On crit, 50% chance to grant a random buff to a random monster in the party. Crit hit adds bleeds, which is good. Crit damage plus. This is the same, looks mostly the same as the lion or the tiger that I have. It's got claws like that, 50% crit damage there. It's all enemies, crit damage, aging stack. Health proc, each hit additional equates to 5% of max health, which is pretty solid. Every buff action applies 1 additional buff, that's solid. You have a regen on whole party, which is good. First critical hit of an attack applies burn. Yeah, so this one's not too bad. It's more about regen and fire damage, which, you know, is okay. Still not as impressive or as kind of like necessary as like a healing monster. And I'll go ahead and make one more for the Spectral Wolf, so I can show you guys. So you have wind damage here, AoE attack, wind, crit 5. This one's nice. This is where that H stack that I was talking about. So this one, it gives a shield of 15% on the first, second, or third stack. Primal Rage increases damage dealt for every by 10 and an additional 3 for every H stack, which is pretty solid. Another crit here. increase the party crit. Some spectral damage, which is neutral. Ice, which can apply bleed. You have an AoE bleed. Crit damage modifier there. Trigger an additional 75% damage hit when applying a chill, which you have Ice Storm, and the debuff there. Risk or crit, does chill, then multi-chill. Basically, it's just the ice version of the lion. And then you have lifesteal, which is pretty solid. And then the claws. The sidekick, each attack it triggers an additional 40% damage hit, which is alright. So as you can see, it's kind of lackluster. I mean, it's got a lot of different elements, which is nice. But as you'll come to see, healing is huge. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Eagle, as it has a self-revive, party heal, and some strong attack power, and the ability to apply burn, I believe, right? It has shock. Oh, maybe it doesn't have burn. It has fire damage there. Shock. Auto shield. Why do I think this has a burn? And it does have a shock, so it's not too bad. But shock is definitely not as good as burn. But this is okay. And actually, I kind of want to go with the frog. Why did I think this had a burn? Okay. I changed my mind. We're gonna go with the frog.